Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. I have like a million things going on. I don't even know where to start except for I am going to rearrange my room entirely. Um, and I always get on here and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. But sometime during the beginning of June, I think the first week of June, I'm getting a new bed. Um, this pillow top queen sized bed that I have in my room now is just, it's killing me essentially. It's destroying my back and my shoulders, and it's I know with a lot of heavier people who sleep on their sides or on a certain part of the bed, you get that little divot. That's basically what I have in just one long thing on one side of the bed, and I've tried turning it around. Like people always suggest, they're like, turn it around and put blankets and stuff over on that side. It doesn't work because I will throw everything off and roll over to that side of the bed because it's more comfortable. So I'm getting a futon. That way I can break it in more evenly. Makes it a lot easier. Um, Also, it'll give me a hell of a lot more room in my room. Um, I plan to move my TV, is what I was originally going to do, but that just kind of seems impossible at this point. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. But the two end tables that I have at the other side of my bed, those are going. I can't deal with the broken leg on one of them because anytime I try moving them to clean, it falls off and then I have to redo it, and it's just a pain in the ass. Plus, it's got these glass square tops on top of them that just keeps sliding and shifting everywhere. I've tried gluing them in place, anything I could to keep them from slipping and sliding, and it just does what it fucking wants to. Anyway, so futon, bed canopy, all that. Um, I got the frame for the canopy. The curtains are arriving at some point. Um, the futon comes around June something. And then I also had two of these in the cart. So I will be getting two more of these, which is great because they were perfect for my hair. Thin or thick hair, doesn't matter. This thing is fantastic. Um, On to my main subject. Has anyone ever read Seduce the Villain's Father? I'll seduce the villain's father, or something along those lines. Because I started reading it before, I want to say a good 2 years ago, and then I dropped it because it just seemed kind of typical. Well, I picked it up again recently and I made it all the way to chapter. What did I make you do? Grr, grr, grr. Made it all the way to chapter 62, and I'm pissed. Um, so if you're not up for spoilers on what this story entails, go ahead and click off this video because there are going to be spoilers because I'm livid. I am not good at keeping secrets, and I am, when something really irks me, it's going. Shots fired is the way my sister usually puts it. Um, Anyone who knows me puts it that way. If something's pissing me off, it's there's no holding back. Anyway, so spoilers. If you don't want spoilers to I Seduce the Villain's Father or Seduce the Villain's Father, click off now, go elsewhere. If you're fine with it, here we go. They're stupid. They are so retarded. And with most books, I get that they have a reason to do it because they feel like they can't make their characters smart and still have a story, which you can if you know what the hell you're talking about. So get this. CO in Eon Soul. I know CO and Soul. I can't. The middle name is what gets me. EUN, which is Unsoul is her first name. CO is her last name, which to me I just call her CO because that's easier for me. Gets reincarnated into a book that she was reading. Brisney's Wish for Whatever. Brisney's Wish for Peace or something along those lines. There's dust cloth. And so she gets reincarnated into this book as Brisney's aunt, who denies for quite some time that she is, in fact, within the book. Even after she hears Brisney's name, she's like, there's no more denying it, but then she goes on denying it for quite some time. She starts doing some research and realizes that her father has closed Galcolimo, something road, a trade road that the Empire uses and that another kingdom uses. And Lebany is right in the middle of it. Well, the king of Lebany in this original book closes the road for like 2 years or so. The Belgot Empire gets furious and their patience has worn thin. So the emperor goes and kidnaps the first princess, who is pregnant, by the way. Kidnaps her and takes her to the Empire, and she is held hostage there for 10 years until the road is opened back up. In the meantime, this not only causes a war to break out and causes a crap ton of damage to Lebany, but also the neighboring kingdom that can't fight against Belgot. Basically, it's a tragedy until Brisney's generation, who are the main characters of this story, come into play. And they're all trying for peace. The villain is Belgot's son, Belgot's emperor's son. He's the main villain of the story. I get that. Like, fine, okay. It's what gets me is that Yenny, the second princess, basically has no role in that story whatsoever. But somehow the original princess, the second princess, dies or something. And another soul gets pulled into the body that is very similar to the original. Um, Rawless, the god of that world, notices this when she and her soul, when the body and the soul separate for a brief amount of time. Um, he realizes that she was put in that body for a reason. But because her soul has not been blessed, the land is rejecting her. Basically, meaning it's eating away at her body, trying to kick the soul out because it's foreign. Which I absolutely love that part of the story. I love the romance of this story because it's not just jump right in and have sex. So many of these romance stories are just immediately falling in love with each other and a whole bunch of fucking drama. This one is just, they're denying each other for very good fucking reasons. She's not denying that she loves him. He is denying that he loves her. And he's doing that for a specific reason, to protect her. That I get. That I understand. What I do not understand is that the second princess then changes fate when her soul is swapped. She gets kidnapped instead of her sister, which thank God. But that also means that Brisney gets born earlier because of the stress of losing her sister and being protected by her sister. But here's what gets me. She's read this story over and over and over again. How did she not blame the king? Like, Her father, for 10 years in that book, didn't do shit about the first princess being kidnapped while pregnant. 10 years. Okay? 10. A decade. Did nothing. Kept the road closed. Was more greedy than anything. Cared nothing about his kid. Yenny gets kidnapped. He does nothing. The road's still closed. But the father cares more for Yenny than he does for the first princess, who is going to take over the kingdom. Want to know how I know that? Because not only is he threatening to destroy the road if he doesn't get a letter from his daughter, but he also sends a delegation 3 months after she's been taken to the Belgod Empire. So not only a letter, he wants proof that she's still okay. 3 months is all it took. That just pisses me off even more. The first princess, the one who is going to take over your kingdom, you do nothing about for 10 years. You do absolutely nothing. Yet the second princess, who you're just going to marry off, that one you do something about. They can't attack the empire. They can threaten them. They can't do shit about it, though. If the empire decides to wage a war, that's it. It pisses me off. For 10 years, he did nothing. He had the road closed off for 2 years when Yinny was replaced. Now, the new Yinny, Seo, finds out, goes to her dad, and tells him not to do anything stupid. Don't ruin what we have with the Empire. He then admits that he's had it closed for 2 years. She tells him to open the road back. He does not. He refuses. What does the Empire do? They come and kidnap the princess. Seo puts her sister in a dog hole, basically meaning a secret passage, so that her sister and the baby, Brisney, will be safe. I don't know why they used Brisney, but okay. So Yinny gets kidnapped herself. Some shit goes down with the villainess of the older generation getting pissed off because she's not getting what she wants. Tries to kill the princess from another kingdom, and ultimately fails, but still thinks that she can get what she wants because he cares for her. Whoever whoever her master is, this dark magician, um, wants the new Yinny out of the way entirely. He keeps urging her to kill her. And it's like, okay, I get that. It's like that I can understand. I can understand that entirely. Um, because she's literally a crossroads in this story. She can do much harm, much good. Why? Because she's not part of that world. She's literally a foreign object thrown into this fantasy like world and is throwing everything for a fucking loop. And I love how she's doing subtle changes. It's not big extreme changes. She's not trying to destroy the story because she loves the story. But she wants to help them so that the next generation, Brisney's generation, the main characters don't have to go through such tragedy. Her main purpose for this is Belgot's son, Deckard, who essentially kills his own father and is brainwashed by his mother, who happens to be a dark magician, Lady Ellard. Um, and who has also tried to kill Brisney's aunt, Yinny, Seo. Yinny and Seo's personality is very much alike. No one has been able to tell that they're not the same person, except for Rowless, who is the god. He he's not the only god, but he's the main one. He has noticed that her soul doesn't belong in that body, and he's wondering how she got there. He ends up taking a really big interest in her, and I love that. It reminds me a lot of I'm a fake saintist, so don't obsess over me, or something like that. Or I'm a fake saintist, but the gods are obsessed with me. Something along those lines. I absolutely love that story, by the way. Um, but there's There's a lot of things in these stories that piss me off because they're just so goddamn stupid. It's like, do they have peanut-sized brains? Is that it? Or are the people writing these stories scared that it's not going to be good if they have smart characters? Your characters can be fucking smart. Now, here's the other thing that gets me. When Yenny puts her sister in the dog hole, she goes on to tell her that there's a slide that goes down and leads into the basement. Some of you may already know where I'm going with this. But just in case, why couldn't Yenny get in too? She could have told her fucking sister to slide down that slide, get into the basement, and then Yenny would be up top. Or Yenny goes in first and then her sister second. They can slide the door from behind it. Instead, she puts her sister in, decides to go to the Eastern Palace, which is right across where Belgod is invading, decides to run out and goes to go into another dog hole. She ends up getting kidnapped. Now, the Belgod Emperor is very considerate of her, more so than he was with the first princess who was pregnant. I don't know why the fuck you would kidnap a pregnant woman to begin with. See, the original story is so fucked up. Because it's like, he's not nice. He's not considerate at all. He kidnapped a pregnant woman, put her in so much stress, kept her there for 10 fucking years, never checked to see if she was okay. So she was being neglected, nearly died having her kid. Her child almost died. Her child made it to 10 years of age before her father decided that he was going to open up the road. Or before the war started, something along those lines. Anyway, because Brisney was there for 10 years, Deckard ends up falling for her. But because she ends up going back to Lebany, he can't see her for a long period of time. Some time goes by, they grow up. He gets pissed. He wants to see her again. She's already in love with someone else. Deckard had already killed his father at this point. His mother makes small little snippets into the story, but you never see much of her either. And I'm thinking that in the original story, she was already in the in-between Earth and Heaven, which is where she was trying to go. I believe they called it Judette, something along those lines, of the in-between. But again, 10 years does nothing. Yenny gets kidnapped. It takes 3 fucking months. There are so many stories out there that are like this. And it's like, you can have smart fucking characters. Even smart people make fucking mistakes. They're not as stupid as these mistakes, but they make fucking mistakes. It just, If I was the Belgoth's emperor, me personally, if Lebany had closed off that road, my only trade route to get my magic stones, I'm sorry, Lebany's going. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to sit there and hold back with such a tiny kingdom. Literally, the kingdom on the map is as small as a thumbnail. Belgot is fucking gigantic. 2 hands. If they're not going to compromise and he's going to keep being greedy, I would have just wiped him out. I would have been fine. I'm taking over the continent then. He's like, I'm done with this shit. That's what I would have done. But because Belgot's emperor is not, or he's considerate. He's taking into account what they want and what they want it for. But because no one's giving him a straight answer, there's no compromise. It's just turned into total fucking chaos to where he goes into Lebany and kidnaps a princess. But I don't understand why Yenny, Co, Yenny, did not blame her father at all for what the fuck was going on. Not at all. Doesn't blame him for anything that fucking happened. Her nearly dying, any of this shit, her getting kidnapped in the first place. If you didn't fucking want it to happen, you shouldn't have done what you did. Her father is literally pea-sized. Okay? I don't know how his wife had 2 kids with him. Just gonna say that now. I would have killed him. My brain, when I started reading this again and going over it, it took me 3 days to get to chapter 62. Okay, just 3. And that's just out of sheer fucking boredom. I laid down and went to sleep the first night. Well, trying to sleep. And what my brain does is it replays things from the day and basically turns it into a movie. I can move the characters as I wish. So basically, I recreate this world in my head, move the people about the way I think the story should have been played out. And when I do that, I can see where you done fucked up. Ellard, Saleya Ellard, is the main villainess of the parents' generation. She's the only one that makes any sense. She has a clear purpose for why she's the villain, and she has a clear reason for doing what she's trying to do. Now, you don't understand what that clear reason is. I'm guessing her main thing is to turn all magic and divine power into black magic. I'm guessing that is her main goal because black magicians have been outcasted for ages. And she saw her family and her servants and friends, all that, get murdered in front of her eyes when she was just 10 years old. So yeah, she's gonna be fucking twisted. She escapes thanks to the master of the magic tower, who takes her away and is apparently part of her disaster plan. Um, so we have no idea what her end goal is. She never states it, she never gives away her plans, but she has a clear goal that she wants to get to. She has something that she wants to achieve, and she's going to do anything to do so. Everybody else in this story, stupid. They have no clear goal on what they want to accomplish. They're just greedy. Just fucking retarded. You can have smart characters, okay? Smart characters make mistakes. Smart people make mistakes. It's the way of fucking life. No one's fucking perfect. Uni is the only one that makes any sense to me. And at the same time, she's so damn stupid. Lady Ellard is so freaking smart, but is hung up on one fucking guy. I know why she's after that guy, and it makes perfect sense to be after that guy, sort of, kind of. Makes perfect sense. But everyone else is just fucking retarded. It makes no sense to me at all. In fact, just I'm hungry and I'm pissed. So I stopped at chapter 82. I bookmarked it and I'm out of it again. I don't know when I'll pick it back up because at this point it's still just pissing me off. Why 3 months for the second princess but 10 fucking years for the first? How has no one noticed that? How does that make any goddamn sense? Not only that, in the time that she was captured, they never made it extremely clear as to if she was still a hostage or if she was released and then the war started. No, it was after her release. Okay. After her release, a war starts. Don't know why. There was no clear reason as to why there was a war. All I know is that Belgot kicked everyone's asses. Well, yeah, because I think it was after the war that Deckard killed his dad. Because his dad wasn't there, he was at war. Um, Seriously, just. Okay. I was also reading. What is that story? Oh, it's going to irritate me now that I can't think of the name. Right. It's being a wicked woman is comfortable and pleasant. Or if you want to go by its other names, it's got plenty. Um, being a wicked woman is comfortable and pleasant. The perks of being a villainess. Isn't being a wicked woman much better? What's wrong with being a villainess? These are the titles that it has. It now has 42 chapters. I have only read 41, which is why I haven't gone back to reading it, because it's such a good story. Like, stupid good story. Much like death is the only ending for villainous. It needs it The stories are fantastic. I absolutely adore them. And I don't mind having romance in it. I tend to prefer romance. I prefer my romance, but whatever. We don't all get what we want. Um, I have like 100 tabs opened, and I'm like shifting through them, and then as soon as I knock one down, I end up adding five more. It's a real pain. I don't know how my computer keeps up with me just being all over the place, but it does somehow. Um, I don't mind romance. This is an obvious fraudulent marriage. That one I started getting really irritated with quite quickly, in fact. I didn't mind that they were going at each other with every opportunity they got. They didn't really show much anyway. It's not like the princess's secret bedroom or the abandoned princess's secret bedroom, or however you want to call it, the forgotten princess's secret bedroom, something along those lines. Um, it's not like that one where they're showing in certain detail what's going on between the couple. Um, it's obvious what they're doing, but you don't get much detail. What I didn't like was that the romance kind of just jumped right into it. At first, it was just a contract. Then all of a sudden, they have feelings for each other, and they're doing their business and going at each other any opportunity that they get. And it's like, okay, I understand that you're in that newlywed phase, but the story kind of just dies off because now it's just these two constantly going at each other. And it's like the rest of the story just doesn't matter anymore. Like all of a sudden, him being a crazy serial killer is nothing to her anymore. And at first, when she realized who he was, she was terrified. And it was like 2, 3 days, and then they were back at each other. It's like, seriously, if I find out that I'm dating someone who has killed 1,000 people, I don't know about anybody else, but that's a no go for me. Now, I understand if she was like, it's not his choice, he's being ordered to do it. Like that I get. You can't go against the emperor. But he does it because he gets annoyed. And I understand that he has a condition. He can hear everybody, even their thoughts. He can hear all the noises. You walking down the hallway, you breathing, you whispering, you thinking. Literally, he can hear people thinking. He's going to go insane. But the Emperor is using that to his advantage by presenting him with a drug that can help sedate him only after he gets certain business done. There's a whole story that you could do with that. Whole fucking story. Did they use that whole fucking story or even realize the potential of the story? Nope. Um, the villainess is a wicked woman. I mean, the only wow, brain. The only ending for villainous is death. Or death is the only ending for villainous. I absolutely love that story. They're not jumping right into romance. There's a lot of story going on and a lot of things that you're just like, what the fuck? How did no one. Why? What type deal going on? I'm actually going to have to go and eat soon. Um, because of everything that I have showing up and me going through a breakdown, um, plus a lot of other essential things that are going on, having to clean up and rearrange my room, figure out what I'm keeping, what's got to go so I can do what I want to do with my room. I may not be back on for quite a while. I I keep wanting to do more videos just to talk about my day, what I'm feeling, just the normal things. And I end up not doing it anyway. My motivation just plummets after I do it. And it's just like I don't want to do it anymore. And I have to practically force myself into getting an getting enough energy, motivation, courage to do these videos in the first place. It takes a lot out of me. And I want to keep doing them, but at the same time, it's just, is it really worth it? Because I'm not getting anything out of it. No one watches them to get anything out of it, and I just ramble. That is my whole purpose on here. That is the only reasons that I put videos out in the first place. Mainly so that I can reorganize my thoughts and figure certain things out. I found that talking it over, even if it's just talking to myself, helps me realize what I've been missing or what needs to happen. It it really helps organize my thoughts, which are always chaotic and kind of extreme at times. Um, there are a lot of things going on recently. So many things. Um, I got glasses. I cannot see without them at all. Everything is a giant blob. Um, what I'm looking at right now is just my hair and the shirt and a bit of the glasses because everything else kind of blends into the wall behind me. With my glasses, I can see everything, even my mustache. Um, Everyone says it's peach fuzz and stuff like that, but if it looks like a fucking mustache in this light, it's a goddamn mustache, and I'm going to have to get rid of it. I will take care of that at some point. I also have to make time to shave my legs, but I haven't been in the mood to do that. Um, I got a new watch. It's a what is the name of it? 3 Plus Pro. A GoPro or Fitbit something. It was like $50 at Walmart, and I put my own wallpaper on it. You can customize your wallpapers on these things. Um, the only thing that I do not like about it is that the information that I want on one of the um, faces, watch faces, has steps, oxygen, well, it has steps, heartbeat, and calories burned, plus the time and the date. This one, when you do custom ones, only gives you the time and the date, not how many steps you've taken, how many calories you've burned, what your heart rate is. Um, which is it's irritating, but okay. It's like I understand. They need themes for these though, because there are so many pictures that I have that I want to put on here that I want to cycle through, but at the same time, it's kind of a hassle because I have to make sure that the wording and everything, the time and the date, is not in the way of the picture that I have on there. And it's really hard to see on camera the time and date because I made it to where it will kind of blend in with the red, which I'm so glad that I can do that. And I wanted it that way on purpose so that the wallpaper sticks out more than anything else. But at the same time, it's just like I really would like to see the time and date regardless. I don't like having to struggle to see what's going on. Anyway, I'm done rambling. I need to go and prepare food. It's about time. Um, and I am still waiting for another package to arrive. So, food, smoke, food, whatever. I may not be back on until after I have my room set up. Um, Mainly because when I'm building or setting up things, I listen to a lot of music and I kind of zone. So even if I started doing a video on me trying to do all of that together, there would just be a whole bunch of fucking copyrighted material. And I'm not going through that. I'm not up for that crap. I just get on here to babble and disappear. So I probably won't see you again till I have the futon and the canopy and everything all set up the way I want it. I'm still wondering if I should put it against that wall or not. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And hopefully, I'll find the motivation to do another one of these videos after June something. Um, the futon's not supposed to arrive until somewhere in the first week of June, so somewhere around there. Well, stay safe, everybody.